Anybody have any questions at this point? Yes, ma'am. We stapled it to her head. No, I'm kidding. We used pins. The wigs are adjustable. You can make them pretty tight. You can make them loose. She asked a good question. How are we keeping the wig on her head? On a mannequin, you can push pins in it. We did it with it behind her ears. No. But they adjust pretty well. Sometimes, depending on the client that might suffer from alopecia, they might not have hair. So there's tape, you know, and there's also an adjustable band inside the wig. Yes. What kind of wig is this one? This is the, yeah, hold on. It's the Gemtress Solitaire, or Splendor. Splendor. They're good wigs. When you're cutting a wig, if you're using real hair, you can use regular scissors, your real scissors. We also do use texturizing shears. When you're cutting wigs that have a little bit more synthetic to them, also understand that you can't necessarily use a regular shear because they don't necessarily lay as well or sometimes in the right space. So using texturizing shears to cut, you're welcome. Using texturizing shears helps you get through that a little better. So using our model's head shape there, again, consistency is the key. Work through that head of hair the same way. The benefit of that is it allows you to create a way of going through the head. Let's just hypothetically say now Raphael had to take off. I can actually go back into that haircut and work exactly where he's left off because I know how he's sectioning that head. It's very important, not that you always hand off something to somebody, but when you have a consistent pattern of going to a head, you create the best versatility. And because it's to the client's particular head shape, it's not the same. Like I could do a haircut on you and a haircut on you, and even though I'm using your head shape, you're cutting the same way, it's two different haircuts. So understand that. Develop that consistency. And also, when you're working with a wig, you really have to take into consideration that simulated growth pattern that they put on it. How many times you get a mannequin head and you're looking at the way that hair is in there and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this, right? This is, right? How many of you cut a mannequin head and had no idea what to do with it because of the way they put that hair in it? Right? It's kind of crazy sometimes. Wigs can be that way. I love the OnRite wigs. They're great. We've not had any issues with them. They cut well, they lay well, they blow dry well, they flat iron wonderful. It's like working on great real hair to play with. He's cutting now the top section of the hair. He's cutting it at 180 from the head there, using his reference from the 135 guide. Yes, sir. Pardon me? You can use whatever shears you're comfortable with using. That has nothing to do with it. Does he always use a 6-inch shear? You always use a 6-inch shear? You always use a 6-inch shear? No. You know, the great thing about what we do, like we have such a toolbox of things to use. We use razors and clippers. I've cut haircuts with clippers. I was going to do that on her today, but she almost fell over. That's all we bought right now today, you know. But yes, you know, sometimes actually when you're trying to make really hard lines in wigs, a clipper is a good thing to kind of finish up with. Scissors sometimes bend it, move it, but a clipper will take it right off nice and neat. You can do the same thing with a clipper. You don't have to necessarily take it straight off. You can use it on the end there. He was asking if Raphael only uses 6-inch shears, and the answer to that is no. We use razors, we use clippers. We didn't bring any of that stuff today, but right today we're using scissors. Again, finishing up the other side of the head. You can also see now how that's just falling nice and soft. It's creating some internal volume. Again, texturizing in the mid shaft. Any more questions from anybody? Have you enjoyed what you saw today? Yes? I'd like to thank Andrew from OnRite for having us here today, by the way, also. Thank you. Great stuff, Andrew. Great staff of people to work with, by the way, as well, too. It's been very helpful. Don't you think? Yes. Yes? Yes. And now what Raphael is doing, he's just really going through and personalizing the cut. Like you would do with anything, any client, after you finish blow drying or prior to blow drying. You're always tweaking and personalizing your cut. So that's what he's doing there, finishing up. Getting into the fringe area. The great thing about what I've found working with these wigs is they're really good quality. How many of you worked with wigs before? You've had some pretty silly wigs to work with, haven't you? How many of you using the OnRite wigs? They're awesome to work with, that's all I have to say. Finito? Oh, let me plug that in there. Does anyone know where this gets plugged into? You're the hero of the day, my friend. Thank you. Just a little light finishing spray. They make some great products for these things too. I had really no idea there was so much stuff for wigs. Great stuff. Nice, soft, keeps them soft. Dry shampoos, regular shampoos, finishing sprays. Cool little styling gels. What do you think so far, everybody? Thank you. Tomorrow he's interpreting for me. Ta-da, look at that, finito.
Thank you.
Gotcha. What I've just found out from Andrew, we're having a special class